Hi, welcome back to Patrick's Tech Reviews, and today I'm going to show you the new EF-M 28mm f3.5 Macro IS STM lens. Quite a long name. This one is, obviously as you can see in the EF-M, is for the Canon EF-M line, which now we have the M1, M2, M3. We skipped the 4 and now the 5 is coming out. So we are now in October, end of September, beginning of October 2016. And I purchased this one, unfortunately a bit too early because it was at 339 Swiss francs. A week later they had an offer in one of the retailers here in Switzerland for 260.9 francs. However, I got some discount because of that, so it ended up costing me around 300 Swiss francs. Which is still less than what is out there if you don't search and just go into the next store and get it. So what can I tell about the lens? Actually, let's just start with the packaging. As you can see, it has a lens hood. It comes, focus. I think the contrast is not enough. So it has a lens hood, ES22. It is image stabilized. Obviously you need that in case you, here we go, let's focus, in case you want to do handheld. I did try that on a balcony in the garden. It's really not easy to do macro photography handheld, especially if you try to do bees as your first subject. I did manage to get a few shots, and obviously depends on the aperture you shoot with. It's kind of difficult to get everything sharp where you want it. So therefore I recommend, if you do macro photography, use a tripod or something that keeps the camera still. So the box, we have looked at it sufficiently long enough now. Let's open it up, and there isn't really much in the box. You get obviously the box, then instruction manual. I'm not quite sure why would you need so much instruction manual stuff for, because it's pretty much self-explanatory. So let's put that back, and then the lens itself, obviously wrapped in thick bubble wrap with the warranty card. So let me just put that aside, we don't need this. We are here to look at the lens. So focus, and as you can see, the main feature of this lens is pretty much one of the first broad market features. Broad market lens is the light. You see the little light bulb here. So it has an LED light, not a flash. So a lot of people think it's a flash. It's not, it's a light. Then we have 28mm, and you have two positions, as you can see here. So obviously the lens is closed now. If you want to open it up, you have to put that lever here. You put it up, and then you twist the lens. And you can see the barrel extends already. And if you're going to go further, we are now in super macro. So, and it locks in that position. So if you want to either close it or go to the super macro mode, which is the next one, you have to again put the lever up, and then you go to the next one. And then again it locks. So let's close it up. In front we have the cap, which is the one to open from the middle or from the outside. And now you think, what the hell, this is not a macro lens. Where are the LED lights? It comes with a separate little screw-in, I don't know how to call this part, which allows you then to put a filter on. And that is just screwed on top of the LED light. And when you take this one off, here is the one ES22, and you see it's 43mm. And once that is off, you'll see the LED ring. Actually, it's not a ring, it's actually two half moons, I could say. And let me just open it up again so you can see how much it opens. Here we go, now in a super macro mode, and you see the lens actually is curved towards the front, just so that it allows you, for example, let me just take the iPhone here as a flat surface, when you try to shoot, that you don't touch the corner. So if it wouldn't be, then basically you would touch here and you couldn't go close enough to the subject. So let's put that away. From the feel, it is very light. I don't have the measures, I don't have the weight of it. You can check that out online. And it is all plastic. So let me just close it and show you the back. It has a plastic bayonet, so it's not a metal one, which you, for example, know from the 11-22, the wide angle. This one is metal. This one is all plastic, and you can feel the weight difference. Obviously, this one has more glass in it, but yeah, it's all plastic. Let me just close it up, put that lid on, and show you a little size comparison as well. So we have the 28mm macro, then this one is the 11-22, so you can see the difference here. And this one as well is a retractable one. So if I open this one up and I open this one up, now you can see how they look. Or if I close the 11-22 and keep this one open, it's pretty much the same. Now let's close this, and I do have as well the 55-200. Let me just see how I can show you this one now, so everything is correct from the measures. So left one is the 55-200, middle is the 11-22, right is the 28mm macro, and on the EF-M I have the 22mm as well. Let me actually take this one out as well and show you how big it is compared to this one. Okay, here we go. So this one is a 22mm, and now we have them side by side. So I would say it's approximately, well, the lens itself without the cap on front is half the size of the 22 is half the size of the 28mm, or 28mm is double the length of the 22mm. And yeah, so very light lens. Let me put it on the camera, and then I show you some sample footage, some pictures, and as well a video actually of how smooth it focuses with the touch display of the Canon EOS M2 minus the M2, and as well some pictures of the bees I tried, and as well another insect and a few flowers. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm gonna just put some music over it and not talk really much. That was just a quick review. Let me just quickly change the lens and put it on, because obviously I forgot to show you the light function, because a lot of people want to know about that. So let's close this. So here's the EOS M2. Let's power it up, and the first thing you will see when you power it up is set lens to shooting position. Obviously, let's take the cap off, and then we put it in shooting position. Sorry. And menu focus, and here we go. So you can use the lens obviously as well as a portrait lens, in a sense of 28mm with a crop factor of 1.6. And let me just quickly show you this one here, how it works. So you have obviously no problems on focusing on this one. However, if you go on the super macro mode, you see it will not focus. Then you have to go, you see, you have to go really close to it. Yeah, and now it focuses. So if I turn on the LED, it allows me to actually take some shots now. So let me show you how the LED looks in the front. Sorry for that. So now if I press it once, it turns on this side and this side. Let's see if I maybe can step down. Here we go, then you can see it better. So now it's full power, then it dims it to half, and then it turns it off. If you keep it pressed, it will turn on one side first, full power, half power, switches to full power on the other side, half power, and off. If you then turn on again, it stays in the side mode. So press long again, and you turn on both. And obviously they are left and right, not up and down. Depends on how you shoot. This is pretty much how it looks. Let me just readjust the camera again. And as I said, it's not very easy to shoot macro handheld. It's very difficult, especially with the f3.5. If you step it down to maybe 5.6 or 6.3, obviously it gets a bit sharper, and it's fun. It's something completely different. I haven't owned a macro lens before that one, so it's the very first one I have. However, keep in mind, with a 28mm, even on a crop sensor camera like this, it becomes, let me just calculate, sorry for that, So 28 times 1.6, so it's basically 44.8 or 45 millimeter lens, which most insects, like bees, actually bees are pretty easy because they don't run away from you, but they're just so active you can't get them in one place. So anything that's not a flower or like a coin or something that doesn't move quickly, you won't be able to shoot with this one on a tripod. For that you would need a 100mm or maybe 180mm macro lens, because obviously every insect has a different, how we call it in English, basically when they try to escape. So the closer you get, the more chances that the object you want to shoot, the insect, is going to fly away. So with a very short lens of 28mm or 45 on a crop factor camera like this, it's not very easy to get close to your subject without scaring them and them flying away. So keep that in mind. Other than that, very cool lens. Even though it's built fully out of plastic, it's all very good quality. It feels all very good, honestly. And what is good as well, that it retracts, and to keep the LED safe, you have this part that screws on, and then you can put a filter on it as well, in case you shoot outside and you don't need the LEDs, because obviously the LEDs you only really need in a super macro mode when you're very close to it, otherwise it's not bright enough. And again, it's not a flash, it's just a light. So thank you very much, I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please subscribe and comment, like, share below, and see you next time. Bye.